We have learned that a clause is similar to a sentence because it also expresses a complete meaning or thought, and it has a subject and a predicate. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to English Hero. Right now in this video, we're going to specifically talk about subordinate clause, one of the major types of clause, which is also known as a dependent clause. Let's have a review. A dependent clause, it cannot stand alone. It needs to be paired with another clause for it to express a complete meaning or thought. Now, for subordinate clause or dependent clause, it has three types. We have the noun clause, the adjective clause, and the adverb clause. Later on, we will discuss further, but let's have noun clause first. What is a noun clause? From the word noun. We all know that noun is a name of a person, place, or thing. It also functions as the subject or the object in the sentence. Now let's try to define what is a noun clause. Everyone, let's read. A noun clause is, it acts as a noun in a sentence. It also starts with what, that, whatever, who, whom, whoever, whomever, and whichever. Now these words here are actually verbal clues for us to easily figure out or determine the noun clause in a sentence. Let's try to have these examples here. Let's read. Whatever we study increases our knowledge. Alright, now who can give a wild guess? Or, who can give me the noun clause in the sentence or in this sentence? Anyone? Apparently it's the whatever we study. Okay, because from the definition of noun clause, it usually starts with these words here. Okay, so whatever we study is our noun clause, and this is also our subordinate clause. Because if we're going to just read whatever we study, it does not express any a complete thought or a meaning. Okay? So whatever we study, what? So if we're going to pair it with another clause, there, increases our knowledge, it does make sense already. Okay? So, let's have another example. I buy whatever I need. Anyone who can give me our noun clause in this sentence? Obviously, it's the ones being underlined. It's the whatever I need because it starts with whatever. And if you're going to read whatever I need, it doesn't make sense at all. It does not express a complete thought or meaning. Okay? Alright, so I have mentioned earlier that a noun functions as the subject or as the object in the sentence. Now, for this sample sentence number 1, whatever we study, what do you think? Does it function here? For the noun clause, does it function as a subject or an object? Anyone? Very good. It functions as a subject because it is the one being talked about in this sentence. So, whatever we study increases our knowledge. Okay? For the second sentence, this one here obviously functions as the object of the sentence. Let's try to refresh our knowledge about object in the sentence. Object means it's the receiver of the action. Yes. So remember, we do have two types of objective. We have direct object and indirect object. Now in this case here, I buy whatever I need. This is an example of a direct object because it answers the question what. So if we are going to scrutinize, like if we're going to transform this one, or we're going to ask a question basing on this sentence, what are we going to buy? Or what do I buy? Okay? I buy whatever I need. So this sentence here, a noun clause function as a direct object or the object in the sentence. Okay? I hope I made myself clear. Let's move on with the second type of the subordinate clause, which is the adjective clause. Adjective clause acts as an adjective in a sentence. It also starts with relative pronouns like that, who, whom, which, whose, and where. Now, let's try to refresh again our knowledge about adjective. What does adjective function, or what does adjective mean? It means, adjective is you are describing, okay? Describing something, describing a noun, describing a pronoun. Okay? So for adjective clause, it describes or it acts as an adjective in a sentence. It usually starts with relative pronouns. Okay? Relative pronouns, we have who, whom, which, whose, and where. Okay? So if we encounter these words, that will give us a clue that that clause is an adjective clause. Adjective clause is also considered as a relative clause because of the presence of the relative pronouns. Okay? Now for us to better understand what adjective clause means, let's have the example here. One example sentence. Let's read. He hates people who are very conceited. Okay? He hates people who are very conceited. Now, you can see here several there's a word and clause being underlined. So what do you think is our adjective clause in this sentence? Anyone? Apparently it's the who are very conceited because it starts with the relative pronoun who. This is one clue. And second one, who are very conceited here modifies what? Or what does it describe? Or who does it describe? It's the people. Very good. There you have it. So remember, adjective clause, it always acts as an adjective in a sentence. So who are very conceited modifies people. Who are very conceited is this is our adjective clause in this sentence. Okay? Let's have adverb clause then. Okay, adverb clause, just like an adverb, it modifies a verb or another adverb. Okay? So we do have different kinds of adverbs. We have adverb of manner, adverb of time, adverb of place. But for adverb clause rather, it simply modifies a verb, okay, and another adverb. So let's try to have this example here. Let's read. Call me when you need help. Anyone who can give me our adverb clause in this sentence? Good. When you need help is our adverb clause. Why do you say so? Because it modifies a verb. Now, which one here is our verb? Obviously, it's the call. Good job. So, when you need help is the modifies the verb call. That makes it an adverb clause. Of course, it starts with this one, adverb of time, when. Okay? Answers the question when. Next, we have the second sentence, unless you avoid sugar, you can't lose weight. Our adverb clause here is unless you avoid sugar, which modifies lose, okay, which is a verb. So that simple as it is. So adverb clause simply modifies a verb. So it usually starts with conjunction. Alright, so we do have several types of conjunction. We have coordinating conjunction, we have correlative conjunction. Later on we will discuss that one in my coming videos. So that's it. Adverb clause, it usually starts with, adverb, different kinds of adverb and conjunction. It usually connects with another clause using conjunction. Okay, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have learned something new, or somehow this video made you, how can I say, or refreshed your knowledge rather, in terms of subordinate clause, talking about subordinate clause. Thank you so much, kids, or Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one and you take care. Bye bye.